Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to go over another sort of classic med interview question. This isn't really an ethical question like the ones we've been tackling before. This is more of a situational question that tests how you work as a team and in groups, because medicine is a team profession. So it's called the underperforming group member, and I'm sure you've all been in situations where this has been the case. Basically, you're working at university in a group of people and one of the members just isn't pulling their weight. They're just not performing, they're not delivering the tasks on time, they're often late to meetings, and it's becoming very, very frustrating, and you're getting to the stage where other students are having to pick up the slack. That's sort of the big idea. There are variations of it where they're sick, but then they post it on social media, which I've covered before. Lots and lots of different variations on it, but kind of the same underlying principles are the same. So what do you do? And this could be presented as sort of an MMI where you just discuss your thoughts to the examiner, or it could be a role play scenario where you're given this background and you have to go in to talk to the group about it and you have to improvise. But like all of them, all the situations, even if you're speaking to somebody, step one, we gather information by asking questions. So why is the group member not performing well? And if this was sort of a one-on-one role playing, you could start off with that. I've noticed that you've been struggling and you're not really showing up to time on meetings and you've been turning in the work late. Is there any reason for this? The worst thing you can do is to come in and just start accusing people. You're lazy, you're not pulling your weight, and something like that. That's really, really bad. And if you do that, you're not going to do well. So start by gathering information. Why is the group member not performing well? Maybe they are just lazy. Let's go with one extreme. Maybe they are just lazy and they just aren't interested and they'd rather just not do the work and slack off and watch Netflix and let other people do it. Okay, well, that's not very good. But maybe there's something else happening. Maybe they've had a bereavement in the family. Maybe they've having a lot of anxiety and stress and they're having difficulty dealing with their mental health. Maybe they have a non-mental health illness. Maybe they've been in hospital. Maybe they just don't understand the tasks that they're given and they just don't know how to do it and they're too embarrassed to ask for help. Know how to do task. So if you just come in all guns blazing and say you're lazy and you just want to spend your days watching Netflix, that's really bad because you have no idea what else is happening in this person's life. So step one, gather information. Try and get to the core of what is going wrong with this group member. And then you can propose different solutions. So like I always say, go with hypotheticals in your interview. Maybe they're not performing well because they don't understand what they have to do and they're too embarrassed or ashamed to ask for help. In that case, what can we do as a solution? We can offer help. We can arrange a study session. Maybe we can rewrite or reframe the questions so that they do understand what they're doing. Maybe we can give them some more clarity. Maybe they aren't doing well because they're struggling with mental health. Okay, what can we do to help you then? Can I help you see a therapist or a counselor? Can we have a chat about what's going on? And I know I'm not a therapist or a counselor, but talking together can be really helpful. Can we give you other work that isn't as stressful? Maybe we can divide up the work in different ways so that you can have something that's a bit more manageable. If there's been a bereavement in the family, then we have other options. So gather information, find out what is actually going on here. Are they just lazy or are there different reasons? And in my experience, it's always a different reason. There are very, very few people who just drop the ball because they drop the ball. There's often something else going on, and if you just have a conversation, it can actually be very solvable. So this one's a little bit different because we can identify the extremes. So let's say, what are we going to do now? Well, we have a few options. Option one, we could tell the teacher. dob them into the teacher, say they're not doing well, they should fail and I should get all their marks. Obviously, that's not great because of all these other reasons. Maybe they do have valid reasons. But maybe if you chat to them and they say, tough luck, I'm not going to do it. You guys have been, pulling me through all semester. I'm not going to start working now. Then at that point, you might want to think, okay, do we start bringing in authority figures now? Likewise, maybe they, are really struggling because of some other reason. Maybe you could talk about, okay, do we go tell the teacher or the course coordinator together as a group? Do we discuss with them as a group what is happening? Not so that you get in trouble, but so that we can, come to a solution. If they've, been through, if they've had a bereavement in the family, maybe you can get an extension as a group. So, telling the teacher can sometimes be, or the course coordinator can sometimes be a good option. It just depends on your thought process. Another option, which is sort of another one of the extremes, is you can say, okay, don't worry about doing your work. I'll just pick up your slack, or somebody else will pick up your slack. That's obviously not a good idea because it's not fair on you or the other group member who picks up their slack, and it's also not teaching this individual the skills that they need to learn to pass this course and therefore be, competent at their role. And it also creates a really bad precedent where you will just keep doing their work for them. Even if they have a valid reason, like they've been sick or something, that doesn't mean that you should just pick up their work because of all those reasons. So the solution will be like we've just gone through here. Have a talk, have a chat with them, with student and group. And of course, you shouldn't be making this decision in isolation. If it's a group assignment and you are only 2 members of the group, then you should be chatting with the other members of the group as well. So talk with the student, talk with the group, try and get to the bottom, identify the main issue. Identify the main issue, and then see if we can work with them to come up with a solution. So this one's pretty straightforward. It's not particularly difficult, but it's the way that you approach it which is really, really important. It's very important that you go in with an open mind. And again, if you're doing like a role play or something, this can come off in your body language. If you go in and you're looking a bit angry and your body language is all closed up, then even if you're saying, let me help you, but your body language isn't saying that, then it can give the wrong impression. So make sure that you go in with an open mind. Make sure that you identify the core reason. And then propose a number of solutions to show creative thinking and critical thinking. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video.